It's going to wrap up the Friday show as we head into Super Bowl weekend. Yeah. Hope you enjoy your Super Bowl party. Of course, if you're a Chief fan, it's a little bit. It's going to wrap up the Friday show as we head into Super Bowl weekend. Yeah. Hope you enjoy your Super Bowl party. Of course, if you're a Chief fan, it's.
Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
In a hat, the Lady Panthers are going to get the monkey off the back tonight.
You're calling it.
I'm hopeful. It's homecoming.
It's homecoming. Anything can happen. Anything can happen tonight. Okay, on the show today. Barton men's basketball coach Jeremy Combs, he's not going to come into the studio today because he's got what everyone else has. Play tomorrow night at the Beaver Dome in Pratt. Sunflower Sports Solutions' Connor Nickel will look at the landscape of high school basketball heading down the stretch in the final 3 weeks of the season. And Mike Corson we'll be talking with Great Bend High alum Patrick Heath, who accidentally got involved with the Super Bowl. You can hear how one of his photos ended up in Patrick Mahomes' hands for a bit on ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live. Don't spoil the whole thing, but what's going on?
Yeah, so that was the last cut you heard, but he takes these pictures at the Super Bowl parade, and Kimmel's people thought they had permission to use it. They found it online, and so that was the pillow that Mr. Mahomes was given there. So one side was a nice picture, and the other side was Dad Bod Mahomes.
So did young Patrick have, like, rights to the photo? Or
I'm going to ask him later because I'm, as a photographer myself, I already know it's his photo, and what is the protocol with
and it's
getting
on,
that righted?
it's online.
Yeah, supposedly, We'll see.
Okay, so that's coming up.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to get to the bottom of all this.
We will hear what Mr. Heath has to say.
Okay, and the Friday sports headlines, the sounds of the past 24 hours. Okay, it is Super Bowl weekend. Here we go. Eli Manning saying there's pressure on the Chiefs to achieve their goal of 3 straight using the Giants game against the Patriots when New England was trying to run the table and finish off an unbeaten season in the Super Bowl. Obviously, that didn't work out so well. You think Chiefs feel any pressure right now to do this? I think it'd be more pressure to go unbeaten in a season, I guess, if you're thinking about it. I don't know. Comparing the two, I think, man, undefeated season, 3 straight Super Bowls. I mean,
It seems like the biggest pressure is, can they use the term three-peat? Was Pat Riley trademark that?
Oh,
Can't trademark
what are you?
letters.
Three-peat.
So, that's the only pressure. They've been there before, but
Do you think about it when, like I said, you go out on the football field and say, oh, no. Oh, no.
It's got to be in the back of your mind a little.
To affect your play? I don't know. I don't know.
It's the Super Bowl. It's going to impact you enough.
Okay, Chiefs and Eagles. Jeff Chadilla is with the NFL Network at NFL.com saying who's going to win. Well, he didn't really say. He says that everyone says that the Eagles have the better team, but when pressed, people will say, well, I'm not going to be the one to go out and put it on the line saying, unless you're one of those ones that take all these hot takes all the time. I think the Eagles, they're stacked, man. They've got Saquon Barkley. They've got one of the best offenses. Their defense is number one in the NFL this year. Vic Fangio's had plenty of experience going against the Kansas City Chiefs when he was with Denver. But are you going to go out there? And plus the referees are on the side of the Chiefs.
Definitely, 11 on 16?
Yeah, exactly. So you can go out and bet the Eagles. I don't know. I don't have good feelings about this game. In fact, I think the Chiefs could get boat raced. But that's a worried Chiefs fan.
Did you put in a pick on the Eagle media contest?
No.
I went strategic. I picked the Eagles 30-27 because
what can you win with that?
$150 worth of apparel.
And just wait until next year, and you get you get your W-2s, and it's going to be down there apparel.
No, but if you get the running back that started out with the Chiefs, the rugby guy, his jersey's got to be like $20. You can get 7 of them.
Okay. We'll have that broadcast for you on B1043 The Point. Now, there's going to be a special Chiefs Radio Network pregame show with Mitch Holtis at 3, okay? Then you can listen to the real voice of the Chiefs as Westwood 1 begins.
Ross Tucker?
Kevin Harlan.
Oh.
Kevin Harlan will have the call on the Westwood 1 network. That's because they have the exclusive broadcast rights for the Super Bowl, so the Chiefs network can't carry it. So Chief fans, you can get your pregame show at 3 with Mitch, and then Westwood 1 coverage starts at 4 on B1043 The Point. Game kicks off at 5:30.
Yeah, put on the Puppy Bowl, listen to the radio till the broadcast comes on.
You know, they said the Puppy Bowl, like 12 million viewers? I mean, that's more than a lot of those college basketball games get on Tuesday nights.
So, yeah, we're Super Bowl LIX, which is 59 if you know, but Puppy Bowl's only XXII, which is, I believe, 12. No, it's XII.
My memory of Roman numerals has faded over the years because in third grade we had a third grade teacher. Her name was Mary Eichhorn. I think she used to play in the NFL. Mrs. Eichhorn was like 6'3", 230, wore these big black shoes with heels on them. And if you screwed up in class, you would have to go. She would circle a ring on the blackboard, and you would have to stand on your tippy toes with your nose in that blackboard for like 10 or 15 minutes. It was, yeah, she got your attention. I learned my Roman numerals very well, but it's kind of faded over the years.
She was extra intimidating in the 80s when the shoulder pads trend was out. She fit the part.
Well, this goes back to like probably 1968 or 69, Mike.
So that's
back when you could just terrorize students in the classroom, and they learned. I learned phonics very good. Robert Griffin III's argument on the Dan Patrick Show that Patrick Mahomes' win on Sunday would make him the greatest quarterback of all time.
Your thoughts?
I don't really care. I mean, you put him in a conversation. How are you going to actually judge it? Everyone's going to have an opinion. I think he makes a compelling argument for that.
Yeah, his argument was, Brady's 7 were spaced out. There was a big gap in there, but I always take it. Mahomes can throw for 600 yards and still get beats, or he can throw dots all day and nobody catches him. There's so many more pieces in football than probably any other sport.
And he's got plenty more years to go, right? Unless when does Patrick Mahomes start slowing down a little bit? Tom Brady was a pocket quarterback. I mean, he could run, but he stayed in the pocket. He went back to throw. When does Patrick Mahomes stand back in the pocket, find a receiver, and throw it? When does his big plays occur? Oh, he uses his legs. He avoids trouble. He goes outside. So is his career going to be as long as Tom Brady's? I don't know. But I'll take the Patrick Mahomes now because he can still run around.
And he's still making more athletic passes than Brady ever made. So
But he can do it now.
athletically,
He
it
can
looks
do
way
it.
better.
Well, yeah, because he's not.
Yeah. He could turn
Yeah,
into
so-
a pocket passer. He's sharp.
He could. He could.
But does it
he'll-
take away from his game? Because he's great mobile.
How many first downs has he scrambled for in his days? Okay, college basketball tomorrow. K-State and KU. K-State should win this game. With a fist bump over there. Look at you. You're on the bandwagon again.
5 in a row.
You've got on, off, on, off, on. And now you've crawled your way back on there.
This will be a big one because they've got the 2 ranked wins, but obviously your rival.
Zeke Mayo expecting the Wildcats to bring a strong effort tomorrow.
I'm sure the Boo Birds won't be out at the
K-State fans in basketball are like KU fans in football. They don't know what they're doing. They're not as refined. K-State football fans compared to KU, it's JV.
It's like they were all
And
in
it's the same way, and you just turn it around for K-State basketball fans. Maybe we can hear the bad call. Bull, yeah, that's classy. Keep it classy. Keep it classy, Manhattan. 12:30 tomorrow for the pregame on Hits 106.9. The game's on ESPN. All right, high school basketball tonight is homecoming, as you mentioned. Junior guard Dax Minton says the defense can get better. Okay, I'll take him up on that. Panthers are holding opponents to 37% shooting from the field. That would be a school record if they can continue to do that. And they put up some other impressive numbers. You'd expect that 13-1, right? Okay, they average 67 points a game. They give up only 46. They out-rebound their opponents by an average of 12 rebounds per game, and they're hitting 52% from the field, which that would also be a school record if they can continue that. Great Bend against Liberal tonight for homecoming, and Kyle Creasy said nothing's really changed. We've just been, they had a week off, working on the little things, throwing a different defense that we're going to roll out maybe tonight, maybe not. But Liberal struggled. They're 3-12. Boys play after the Lady Panthers. They tip off at 6 against the Lady Red, a team that beat Great Bend the last time with a running clock in the fourth quarter. It wasn't the whole fourth quarter. Great Bend was within 3 points toward about 4 minutes to go at the end of the first half. It was 26-23, and then the floodgates, we've seen it this year. I don't know, it's like a 22-0 run, something like that. Shamari Lewis will play. She had 32 points, 15 rebounds in the first meeting. A tremendously gifted young lady, just a junior, and, of course, the daughter of the legendary Martin Lewis. We're doing the game tonight on Talk Radio 1270 KSCB in Liberal, okay, because Brock has got some family things, so Brock Kappelman won't be here to broadcast the game, so we'll be providing the feed tonight. So what I'm going to do is reach out to Liberal fans tonight to text Martin and have him come over so he can get a picture with me and Mike Marzoff at the broadcast table. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm going to try it.
So you're going to use technology. You won't have like 2 microphones in your face. Just be using the back end of it.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they'll get our feed tonight.
You're like Wyatt Thompson tonight.
Yes, it's or with Hayes, they always said, you're listening to the Hayes High Indian Network. Okay, well, isn't a network more than one? I always give those guys a hard time, Yeah, you're listening to the Indian Radio Network. Okay, well, you have more than one.
Tonight you get that.
Kyle Haxton, thanks. Well, they need to keep winning games. Says he has the team to do that. They take on Ellenwood tonight. Landon Simpson, 22 points a game. They play at the Activity Center this evening. We'll have that game on 100.7 Eagle Country. Larned hosts Heston tonight. We'll have that game for you on Hits 106.9. You can see the entire schedule at greatbendpost.com. Jay Sharts. You can go out and pin somebody, but if you just beat him like 24-1, he not only beats them, he embarrasses them. I mean, Trenton Kern goes out, picks them up, throws them on their back, and ends it, about 15 seconds in. Those guys are happy as long as, they didn't dislocate their shoulder. But Jay Sharts broke an 8-year-old state record last night, collected his 53rd career tech fall in the win last night in Liberal.
Yeah, so he says basically nothing changed going forward, but now he's got to be a little bit meaner. So to tech fall him, you take him down. You could pin him, but you let him get back up. Well, he isn't going to let him get back up anymore because state points are going to be crucial.
So now the tech falls are out. Now he can go kern him.
Yes.
He can go. Jay Sharts, he's been in here.
Football.
Great interview, man, when he comes in here. And finally, I don't even know what this is. You bring me things because you do, and I like them. But so I'll play them again just so you can explain what's going on here, okay? This goes back to our interview coming up with young Patrick Heath.
How are you, Patrick? Listen, I got a pillow for you. I always think of you like every night. So can you sign my pillow?
I'll sign it for you. Come on, bring it over here, man. I like the picture that you gave me, too. That's a good picture.
Which size you like better? Can you check both sides? Which size you
Come
like?
on, man. Hey, the background looks pretty good right there. I'm going to sign this side.
So Guillermo says, Patrick, I got a pillow because I always think about you when I go to sleep. So he gives him the pillow with a nice picture on the front. And so allegedly Patrick doesn't know that his shirtless picture is on the back. So that's why Guillermo says, which one do you like better? He flips it over, gets the reaction from the crowd, and Patrick says, which side do you sleep on?
Okay, you put it in context there. Very good. And you're going to talk, and that was a photo that.
Great Bend alum Patrick Heath took.
Okay, so that's coming up on the show as well. It is a Friday Sports Day show. Steve Webster. And by the way, it's not really, but just because I like to hear Landon, we're going to call it an On the Corral with Mike Corson. On the Friday show here on KVGB.
Through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Pulling acres ahead of the competition is simple. Cenex Maxtron synthetic diesel engine oils give you the smartest oil for the toughest conditions. These premium oils are formulated with EnduroVis technology and a balanced additive package to control deposits for a cleaner, more efficient engine that gives you proven durability. Cenex Maxtron diesel engine oils. Oil that runs smart.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor.
C&E Doors, this is Eddie.
Papa, what are you getting Mima for Valentine's Day?
Well, Hadley, February is the month of love, and nothing shows love like a new garage door.
You're not just saying that because you own the company, are you, Papa?
Well, maybe a little, but honestly, a new garage door can really brighten up the home.
So, what are you getting Mima for Valentine's Day?
You go, Hadley.
C&E Doors. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison, Great Bend.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys make it happen.
It's time to talk Barton Cougar basketball with the head coach, Jeremy Combs, on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Sports Day today brought to you by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Athletic Department the best in the country, and Eller Automotive Repair, where they specialize in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Jeremy Combs usually joins us in the Mayo Money Management studio, but just like everyone else, is feeling a little bit under the weather right now. Coach, hopefully you're feeling good, but not that you're not important, but, I mean, you keeping this stuff away from your team.
Yeah, no, this time of year, that's kind of what you have to do. I know that the other night, last night, Hutch men were supposed to go play at Coffeyville, and there just wasn't enough kids, I guess, to play the game because everybody's been sick. So, yeah, it's going around, and we're just trying to keep everybody as healthy as possible.
So how's that work? I mean, if Hutch says, well, we don't have enough guys, can you wait and play it Monday? Or did Coffeyville have some guys out, or vice versa, or both of them sick right now?
Well, I guess it was the Coffeyville team. I guess they had the night before when we were originally supposed to play, but the weather kind of was bad for them. They had a couple kids that were out, and Jay said they woke up the next morning and he had about 8 kids out. So,
well, I know
at that point you're kind of scratching your head. How do we play a ball game? You know.
Well, if you're Hutch, you got to go on the road down there. Well, sorry, dude, you guys need to stay healthier. I mean,
yeah.
You know.
Well, I think it was. From what I understand, it was one of those they didn't want to get their kids sick. You know, so they just postponed it, and I guess it was a mutual agreement. So that's what they're doing.
Okay,
so.
All right. Well, that's fine. I'd put masks on my guys, you know,
yeah.
And you know whatever rum dums you want to bring out and play with us, we'll play with masks on, and we'll get a road win. So anyway, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I just wonder how that works. You got a good win on Wednesday. I know you talked about it on the post-game show with Cole for sure, and kind of the theme that. Well, maybe I heard Bill Self say that too when they came back against Iowa State. The big story is, you know, after a really crappy Saturday, you came back and had a pretty good Wednesday. That was a nice win, knocking off Butler.
Yeah, no, something was in the weather last week. You know, that there were several teams that kind of struggled on that Saturday. You know, on the NCAA level and on the NJCAA level, and then, you know, everybody seemed to kind of bounce back, you know, so I don't know, the moons aligned or whatever it was, but we kind of got back on track. We played really well, and, you know, not just, you know, on one side of the ball, but we played on both sides of the ball. Our defense was really, really good. You know, the guys bought into the game plan, and then offensively, you know, we were kind of hitting on all cylinders. We had some guys that were making shots, getting to the basket, and then we won the free throw battle, which was very important to us.
Yeah, there's a lot of free throws in that game. My goodness. So you said your team played tougher. So or more physical? Does that have to do with toughness or more physical? Or what did you see from your team that maybe you didn't see in Arc City on Saturday night?
Well, I think we went into the Arc City game going, you know, hey, let's just play our basketball. It became kind of a very physical game. And so it was harder for us to adjust. Whereas in this other game, we went into it and we were kind of dictating the physical play and the toughness, and then we were able to dial it back a little bit. And I think it's much easier to dial it back versus, you know, tell your guys, hey, now we got to get tough and we got to do this. And so, you know, we've made the adjustment, and, you know, I told the guys after the game that I was really proud of them for doing that. And so hopefully, you know, in our next one, we'll continue to do that. You know, and just kind of set the tempo, and then we'll feel out where the officials are, how they're calling the game, and then make those adjustments.
Brent Moss had a monster game, 22 points, 18 rebounds, and that's hard to do, Coach.
Yeah, you know, he's just one of those guys, man. He can really score the basketball. He's got a nose for the basketball as far as rebounding it. You know, and so he's had some of those monster games, and you know, we're really excited about him. You know, there's, you know, obviously, I mean, he's got to be up for, you know, player of the year in the conference, I would assume. You know, so it'll be interesting to see how he finishes out his sophomore year with us. But, yeah, a guy that can just put up big numbers, you know, with rebounds and scoring.
Put Brent Moss in perspective on what level in school or what, I mean, where do you think where's he going to land next year? What kind of school do you think?
Yeah, so, you know, he's getting hit kind of all over the board. I mean, he's had, you know, a lot of mid-major schools, tons of mid-major schools. We were actually just going through his list that have contacted him, from A-10 schools like where Leger's at, to SoCon schools where, you know, Ring and those guys are at, and OVCs and all those different things. But then he's also had, like, you know, South Carolina getting with us, and Georgia, and just schools like that. So it's going to be really interesting to see where he goes. I think ultimately it's going to come down to, you know, how good does the team do? You know, do we go to the national tournament? Do we make a little run while we're there? Because, you know, those guys that we had last year, you know, they picked up more offers the further we went. So, you know, I think that'll be the deciding factor of where he goes. Now, you know, he may be just like Leger and those guys and decide to go to one of those really good mid-majors where, You know, he can be an impact player right away, but it's, you know, as we all know these days, the money comes into play on some of that stuff too. Now that these players are able to get the higher levels they go, so we'll see what he wants to do. And you know, like I said, I think it's going to come down to us just, you know, making a run late.
Okay, I think we probably asked you about this before, but it was a year ago. People forget, so do I. So when we're in February now. Of course, you're going down. You're trying to get your team positioned, playing the best basketball, make a run, things like this. Yet your kids are sophomores that are going to be going on to other schools. How do you handle that, and what are the conversations? Obviously, you've had one with Brent. Say, okay, this is what we're looking at now. Talk about how that works.
Yeah, so we talked to all of our sophomores yesterday, just feeling out what they're looking at, who they're talking to. Because, you know, in this day and age, that these coaches can get in touch with them and, you know, in many different ways, social media, different things like that. And it's unlimited, you know, where, you know, it used to be they were checking call logs and you can only call this kid once and you couldn't call him day of the game and all these different things. And those times have changed. And so we're trying to keep them, you know, as level-headed as possible. And obviously just continue to tell them, hey, you know, if you're going to play basketball and you're focused on which school you're going to go to and this and that, you're not going to play very well, then they're not going to want you. You know, so we basically just kind of say, hey, let's talk about these schools that you like, that you're interested in. Okay, now let's really focus and continue to play basketball so that they do want you. You know, and I think that's something that we have to reiterate to those guys because, like you said, it can be a distraction. You know, I don't know how many times I've had coaches show up for a game to watch a kid play, and they're so worried about the coach in the stands, and then they don't play well. You know, so, you know, at the end of the day, it's about just focusing on your game, focusing on what's going on right now, and then the rest will just kind of take care of itself.
So is it like unfettered access? I mean, how does that, and would you like more control over that? Because, you know, you get your chickens out there. You got you got a fox in there. You know, you don't even know about it. I mean,
yeah. You know, the good coaches, you know, the good guys that I really trust, you know, they contact us first.
Sure.
You know,
okay.
And they'll be the first to say, hey, you know, I just want to let you know I love your player. I want to recruit him, but I wanted your blessing first, that type of thing. And then there's some of them that you know, just try to you know, go around you a little bit, and whether that's, you know, trying to talk to the mom and dad or just trying to talk to the AAU coach, which, you know, at the end of the day, that's fine. They need to do those things, but I do think it's important to you know, to contact us first, you know, or just at some point, you know. But I think our guys understand that if a coach truly wants them and wants to recruit them and have them in there, it's a good program that they'll go through those steps, you know. And there's been times where a kid said, "Hey, coach, have you talked to this school?" And you know, said, "No, I haven't heard anything from them," and they'll kind of just either tell them, "Hey, you need to contact my coach," or they'll say, you know, "Hey, I'm gonna do something different. I'm probably not gonna go down that route." So, you know, the guys are pretty mature about it at times.
Do we need better Business Bureau ratings for, you know, you get a BB1, you know, for different programs recruiting? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we should. You know, like I said, that there's some that do it the right way, but there's also several, and they just kind of, like you said, you know, they've got unlimited access, so they just, you know, will take shortcuts and things like that. So, but I think like I said, my guys will take that into consideration.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, you get a hailstorm, you got to look for a reputable roofer, preferably someone local, you know. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I quit trying to figure this Jayhawk League out a long time ago. I said, man, that Dodge City team, man, they're making a run right now. Oh, yeah, and then they get pounded by Pratt 102-79. You get the Beavers tomorrow team you know about. They came up and bit you at the Kirkman Center earlier this year. But, again, strange scores. That was one of them, I thought, coming off Wednesday.
Yeah, no, that, you know, they're a dangerous team. They really, you know, I was watching film on them late last night, and they shoot the ball well. They can score the basketball. They've got good size. They've got quick guards. That, you know, they're just lacking a little bit of depth. They've kind of dealt with some injuries and things like that. So, you know, they're very capable, and obviously we know that, and we've been stressing that over the last couple of days as well. Like, you know, hey, we got to go into this. They came in our place and stole one from us, and you know, if you look back at some of the losses, well, we've had 5 losses 2 of those losses, are pretty eye-opening, and in the fact that they were at our place and we should have won. Bottom line, and so this is one of them, and so we've been really talking to the guys about, hey, we need to go have a little payback, and so they're ready to go. I don't think that that we're going to overlook them this time or anything like that. So but they are a really good team, and we're going to have to do a good job defending them. Well, I cut my teeth broadcasting games at the Beaver Dome. You spent some time down there, so it's a special place. Enjoy it, Jeremy. It is. I still tell Trevor all the time. I remember when we were coaching down there, and there was standing room only, and people were standing around the ring up top, and what a great atmosphere. And it's a nice gym. It's a great spot. So we'll have fun going back there. I'm glad that my wife's going to go back to that game. She's going to be able to go down there and be back in the Beaver Dome, and then I think Trevor and his wife are going to head down there too as well. So it should be a cool night. Yeah, back in my day, we had the Club de Bolay, and Tim Renner hadn't retired yet, and he was still cooking popcorn. So things have changed a little bit. People now don't have greasy hands at the scores table anymore. So yeah, that's right. Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate it. Get well. All right, thanks. Okay, Jeremy Combs, head coach of the Barton Cougars, with us on Sports Day.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
Jumpstart your education with Barton Online. You can pick up a class or earn an associate degree for less than half the cost of a university. We are always enrolling. Start when it works for you. Choose from 5 sessions throughout the semester, including 16, 8, and 4-week options. Save big on the way toward your career or tackle your gen eds with our low-cost pathway. Visit online.bartoncccc.edu and enroll today.
If you're needing a healthcare plan for your business, let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's need. Regardless if you're a large corporation or a small business on Main Street, Freedom Claims Management Incorporated can help you provide your employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. Visit freedomclaimsinc.com where you can schedule a free, no-obligation health assessment today. Freedom Claims Management Incorporated in Great Bend.
What's going on in high school sports? Well, let's ask him. Sports Day is proud to welcome in Sunflower Sports Solutions' Connor Nickel.
That means it's Friday, right? Weekend's here. Sports Day brought to you in part by Equity Bank. Here when you need them. Bank local, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com. And Freedom Claims Management, innovative health care plans for your business. Let them take care of everything for you from start to finish, and continued support. They have you covered. Connor Nickel with us here on the program. Here we go. The home stretch is underway. A little bit over 3 weeks to go before the end of the regular season. And I guess at this time of year, we start kind of looking back a little bit at what the season, and then what lies ahead, because now everybody starts looking at it, those sub-state standings, a little bit more closely, Connor.
Yeah, and this is the time when, looking at seedings and looking at positions, where you are, what sub-state you're in. And I really wanted to pinpoint the Sublette 2A girls. So you have some interesting things here. First of all, and this is what Ellenwood's a part of. We played Ellenwood on Tuesday. I thought, particularly defensively, we did a lot of good things. They got a really good team who works really well together. Obviously, they have a key player out. His coach is doing a really good job. But in that Sublette regional, first of all, you have the Indians from Wichita County, who the last 2 years now, I believe, are 39-2. They did suffer a loss in their league tournament championship game. Then you have Hoxie, who is a really good team who lost to WC in December and in a close game. And of course, then the Eagles are third. And then you have Peaburg, the Panthers. A lot of people kind of, I don't say forgot about them last year, but you graduate Terran Sides, and Coach Miller quietly overachieved last year, starting a freshman in the post, a couple of sophomores. They were able to cobble together a season slightly above 500, and then they were expected to be very good this year. And I have got to see some film. Coach Miller and I know each other very, very well. We've talked a couple times this winter. And I don't be surprised if you're an Eagle fan looking at that like, really? I mean, the Panthers are 14-3. Yeah, they are, and they have a lot of size. They play very, very well together. And she did a really good job. Terran Sides' senior year, of course, they take third at state, only the one loss, of in big margin wins, getting those younger kids experience, knowing that was going to pay off now. And so then, of course, Oakley. And Oakley is one of the hottest teams in Kansas. This team has lost 3 games, 2 of them on literally the final play of the game way back in December. And this team is playing 2 freshmen who I know well, and they are really, really good. And they return basically everybody. I've said this from the start. I think Oakley's the best team in the MCL this year. So, again, what Ellenwood has is they are part of a really difficult sub-state. TMP is also in there, too. TMP's 9-6. I think they were, they've lost to Central Plains. TMP, I think, has won 8 of 10 now. And they've started to move. They start 5 seniors. So that sublet 2A regional, 2A sub-state on the girls' side is just really, really stacked.
Who's in position to host the 2 sites right now?
Certainly. So it's going to come down to, I would assume WC will host one of them. They have just the one loss that came in their league. I believe it's Southwestern Heights, yes, by 4, who they beat by 2 earlier in the year. WC does have Sharon Springs and Dighton, who are 2 quality teams to finish out. But, you're looking at WC probably having 2 losses at max. Hoxie only has 2 losses. I know Hoxie still has to play Oakley, and they've got Peaburg left as well. So, major MCL games that will decide on probably that second position. The Eagles are 12-2 now. They have got, I would say, a relatively manageable slate down the stretch. I believe they've got Central Plains left to play, but you're looking at a team that's probably going to be 16, 17, 18 wins. So it's going to be very interesting. I would say that those MCL games are going to play a lot into maybe who can get that a 2 seed. But you could be a 5 seed in that sub-state and be 17-3. I really, really think so.
Okay, some other sub-states that you're looking at with interest right now.
Certainly, yeah. I want to say the 1A1, there's really 2 in particular. The 1A1, Atwood won on the girls' side, I think is really interesting, and had a conversation on Tuesday actually about this sub-state. CP is, of course, number 1. Then you have Rollins County and Quinter 2 and 3. And Quinter, of course, plays such a distinct style. They press every possession of the game, no matter what. It is full-on pressure. And they've got a big girl, too. They've got a really good big girl inside. Quinter, it poses a matchup problem for literally every team out there except Rollins County. They've not been able to solve Rollins County in the last 2 years. And then Osborne, after getting off to kind of a slow start, has really turned it on. They're 10-5 now. I don't think they're going to lose again based on their schedule. Then, of course, La Crosse is right there, too. This is a really interesting sub-state because you've got differing styles. CP does a great job, probably as good of any team I've seen this year, of just controlling the game to how they want it, the pace how they want it. Soken is an awesome player, but you're talking in that sub-state, you've got 4 first-team All-State caliber players. Bryn Gillespie from Quinter, Madison Morgan, obviously from the Leopards, who is a special player.
Sokin from CP, and then Tatum Dewey from Rollins County, who is really, really good. So, I mean, that is elite of the elite as far as 1A1 on that side. I think it's going to be really, really interesting to watch. The other one on the boys' side is what might happen in the Central Plains sub-state as well. CP, in that, you've got Downs, you have Quinter, La Crosse is in there too. La Crosse, to me, is 7-7, but they shoot the three ball so well. And they can score in bunches. They play at such a quick pace. Central Plains should make it to state, quite honestly. The way they shoot it, the way they play together. But I think that's going to be a really interesting one to see how that kind of goes too.
Tell me about 3A boys sub-state that Hoisington's in. I can't tell you which sub-state it is. I mean, you've got Goodland out there, and it goes west. But what about, Hoiston's sitting right now 8-6 in that. I think they're the number 8 seed overall. There's some good teams in there. How do you see that one coming out right now? Yeah, certainly. So you're dealing with a lot of, I would say, experienced programs and programs that are very good. Going back to kind of theme of the day, very good at what they do. So Lakin, so Nate Schmidt goes back home 5-6 years ago or so. His brother's the assistant coach, and their motto is "Run with us." Lakin presses all the time. You don't see a whole lot of boys teams, quite honestly, press all the time. Lakin does. Lakin has had a lot of 17-6 type of seasons. They've had trouble making it to state. They're very, very distinctive in their style. Goodland. Mikey Dole has built Goodland from the bare bones. I mean, they had struggled for a long time. The Brumbaugh player is super. He is a really good player. Last year they had their breakthrough season, make it to the state championship game, lose in a close game. They are very big and long. You've got Brumbaugh, and then you obviously you have Cure. The 5-star recruit headed to K-State. The athletes that Goodland has really make them go. Then you have Scott City and Holcomb and Beloit in there too. Teams that are very good at running their system. And then you have Norton with Coach Rusek, over 700 wins. The thing with Norton is Eli Jones. Eli Jones is their senior do-everything guy. He was their quarterback. He's their all-state golfer. I believe somebody said that he has a school record, a major school record in all 3 sports, like lowest scoring average in golf, school history, basketball. I believe it's 3-pointers made, and in the fall, I believe it's career passing yards. Something like that. He has had this incredible career. I think Colby has kind of overachieved some. Coach Stevens has done a nice job there. Hoisington has great athletes as well, but can you match up with the press you might see of Lakin in a 1-versus-8 game? The raw athleticism of Goodland, or some of the experience you're going to see with Beloit and also Norton. I did see Hoisington boys some at their own tournament. I mean, the athleticism Coach Haxton has is really, really impressive. But there's a lot of really good 3A teams in that sub-state. How do you see Hoisington and Ellenwood tonight?
I think that I'll say this. I would say the Hoisington boys would probably be favored. I got to see Ellenwood boys on Tuesday. Came down to basically the final play of the game. Simpson's a really nice player, but I don't know if Ellenwood can match up with Hoisington's athleticism across the side. Girls side, I'm just going to say it. I think that the Ellenwood girls are stronger. They have more shooters. Ellenwood girls do an outstanding job of getting the ball where they want it to be. We held them to 4 of 26 on threes, which was our entire game plan. But they've had a number of games this year where they've shot over 23s and have made over 8 of them. And so, again, they have a lot of players who can shoot. The Jacobs girl comes off the bench, can really shoot it well. Obviously, Bachman is really good. And I thought that, and I want to give the credit to her because she kind of gets overshadowed. Julia Schlesinger in the middle did a really good job of post defense and understanding her role. And her versus Crawford tonight in the post could be a matchup that maybe could play a huge role in this game that other people may not see much.
Connor Nickel with us, Sunflower Sports Solutions, and by the way, he's also a head coach of the Victoria Lady Knights program. Do you like the 16 teams, seeding the 16 teams and taking 2 sub-states out of that?
I do. I do. I do. I think that it adds yes. I think that it's better to see them all 1 through 16. You know, we go back to the Scott City one where a lot of times Beloit, Norton, and Scott City are together. There's always a collection of teams that's always together. You know, we've seen this with the Haven, Cheney grouping over the years on the girls' side. And now, you know, you've got the ability, if you are Hoisington, you could play Kingman in the first round and Lakin in the second round. And would that have happened in most years? Probably not. You know, I have never felt that geography should be the predicator for how postseason's set up, and this allows a little bit more width and breadth to face teams rather than just geography. You know, we're probably going to play Natoma in the first round for us, and then we're probably going to play Lynn or Axtell in the second round, which that would never happen under the old system. I know our boys' side, you know, they're probably going to face Palco, Logan in the first round. And it just, again, you even look at Southeast Kansas, Galena and Frontenac play each other in everything. Does it really help you playing the same team, 4 times a year?
Yeah.
And I do like just the different teams you're playing in the postseason.
Okay, one more for you, and I know we talked polls on this about a couple of weeks ago, but the Hayes High girls were ranked number 2 in the state. They beat Wellington, and this week they dropped from 2 to 4. So what's going on in 5A girls?
Yeah, it's and I'll be honest here. I think, and then sometimes it's just the variances of the poll. But I really believe too that on a statewide level, people don't really know how, and this is really 10,000 feet view here. People don't really know how to view the Hayes High girls. They really don't. The Wellington win, as far as the statewide, is like, whoa, like that is. You beat a Wellington. That's really, really good. But it's still like, wow, okay, man, how good are they? You know, it's a little bit like you see. I wouldn't even say. I would say Gonzaga. Okay, that some years, you know, when Mark Fewes had these amazing teams, number 1 seeds in NCAA tournament, you're like, oh, you beat Duke, you beat St. Mary's twice, you beat Arizona. Yeah, but you have 10 wins in there that are kind of watered down. I'm not saying I believe that about Hayes High, but I think that there is this question across the state. Do you play in the Eastern Kansas League? Do you play in the Centennial League where it's basketball every night? Well, you look at the bottom of the Centennial League, and it's not very good. And, you know, I think that Topeka Siemens doing a great job. Dan Ruda is their coach. Dan Ruda I actually know well. My first year here, he was actually the assistant at TMP. And then he took a job at Seaman. He had been an assistant now for 11 years. Took over after the state championship team last year and is doing a great job. I mean, Siemens a great team, but I just don't know that people across the state honestly realize how good some of those Hayes High girls are, particularly the freshmen. And I do want to give Sports in Kansas credit here. They ran a poll: who's the best freshman girl basketball player in Kansas? And Schmeiler won it, and really, honestly, should. And so, yeah, I just don't know if people understand truly how special that team is across Kansas.
Yeah, and I saw that Andover team play in Salina. They are quite good, and that would be a heck of a matchup if they would play. So if Andover, Hayes, it doesn't really matter. Everybody, Siemens really good, and then you have St. James Academy in there. All right, Connor Nickel, tonight when you go to the Maxville gym, okay, just look around, close your eyes, and imagine a 5-year-old Steve Webster in there shooting last-second shots when his pop was down there at the school and just letting his son run rampant out there in the gym. Yeah, those are good memories down there at Maxville High School. So enjoy the experience tonight, okay?
I will. It's a fun place. Will just be my second time here, and we're excited for it.
All right. Connor, good luck tonight, and we'll talk to you next week.
Awesome, sir. Thanks so much.
Okay, Connor Nickel joining us here on Sports Day today. It's brought to you by C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison, and by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. Stay tuned. Coming up, Mike Corson with an interesting interview with Patrick Heath. Anyway, we're going to tell you how he got involved with the Super Bowl. That's coming up next. Here
C&E Doors,
on
this is Eddie.
Sports Day.
Papa, what are you getting me for Valentine's Day?
Well, Hadley, February is the month of love, and nothing shows love like a new garage door.
You're not just saying that because you own the company, are you, Papa?
Well, maybe a little, but honestly, a new garage door can really brighten up the home.
So, what are you getting me for Valentine's Day?
You go, Hadley.
C&E Doors. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison, Great Bend.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of Your Local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, and today we want to give a shout out to all the supporting cast at these basketball games. We have some great young men and young women on the court, but we also have some great young men and women playing their instruments, cheering, dancing, all those things. Let's clap for them. When they perform and get done, let's show them a round of applause, show them some love as well, because they deserve it. Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, large or small, we take care of them all.
Sports, leisure, fitness and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs, it's all here at Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend. Or check out the website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. Mike Corson joined today by a special guest. Kind of a weird situation for Patrick Heath, Great Bend High School graduate, now running a photo studio and working for Wichita State University. So it's been kind of a busy and weird week for you. All of a sudden, you're kind of in the news, or something you did is in the news. What happened with Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, so I was out at the parade last year shooting photography of the parade, trying to get different photos of the team and stuff. And one of my photos actually ended up being used in the presser for Fox NFL. Jimmy Kimmel's team sent Guillermo out with my photo on a pillow to have Mahomes sign, and ended up on TV.
So, yeah, we're both photographers of sorts. You're way bigger than I am, but there's probably several pictures of Patrick Mahomes and his dad bod without a shirt on. How did you know that was your photo?
Yeah, so I saw the photo when the pillow turned around, and I recognized all the reactions in the faces of the photo. Mahomes' wife was next to him in the photo, so I recognized instantly that was my photo, and I went back and checked, and yeah, it ended up being the exact same one.
So, and I know you have a website, but how would Jimmy Kimmel's show get a copy of your photo?
Yeah, that's what I thought at first, that they found it on my website. But after communicating with them, they told me that they got the photo from Shutterstock, which is interesting because I had never left my license for the photo available on Shutterstock. I had it there temporarily after the parade, but after not getting any sales with it and not really liking the rates that they offered, I took it off of the site. And since Jimmy Kimmel's team has back channels to Shutterstock, some licensing issue happened, and they had the photo but didn't have the proper license. So they had to reach out and get that all sorted out over the week.
So what was that like? Like, when did you find out? Well, I think this was the press conference down in New Orleans, first day of the Super Bowl coverage. When did you start finding out and realizing that you're kind of involved in this?
Yeah, that happened probably on Wednesday. I realized I saw the segment on Fox, and I was like, hey, that's my photo. So I emailed their team and tried to get in contact with them, and then the next day I got a panicked phone call from their team. It was pretty interesting. Their media director apologized profusely for the mistake and made sure that they got the proper license from me so that they can use the bit.
So they got your picture in the bit on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Did they mention you by name or anything?
With the license agreement, they don't have to mention me by name, but I might be in the credits. I'm not 100% sure, but they did fairly compensate me for the photo. So they own the photo now, and we're 100% cool with them. They apologized and made it all good on my end.
So what's that like as a photographer? We always want our work to blow up. Kind of a weird way for it to blow up for you?
Definitely. It was a really weird mix of emotions. I think at first it was really, really cool to see Mahomes like react to my photo and have the smile and be like, hey, the dad bod looks pretty good right there. Like, that was the coolest part of it for me. And then after that, it was kind of just when I realized it was Jimmy Kimmel and ABC/Disney who was the ones kind of coordinating the stunt. I was like, hey, I just want to make sure I get credit for it, because as a photographer, you don't really get opportunities like that a lot. So I think it's really important to have the proper licenses when you're using an image as somebody who goes out and does the work to get those images. So it meant a lot for them to care enough to call me and personally apologize for it and make it right. So I'm excited to see the bit and see what it looks like on Jimmy Kimmel.
And we're nice Midwestern Kansas kids. Sounds like you had some leverage. Did you get it? Are they going to send you a signed pillow or anything?
I did have a little bit of leverage, and they did bring that up, but unfortunately the pillow did have some prior obligations. I'm not sure if it's a charity event or a producer's kid or something like that, but that's all right with me. They compensated me like much more than I expected for the pillow, so they made sure that I was treated right for the experience.
Patrick Heath, photographer, Great Bend High School graduate. Thanks for joining us today. Weird story, and glad we get to share it with our listeners.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks all for listening.
All right, more Sports Day after this.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Barton Community College's natural gas program gives you the skills and training you need to succeed. Current student Easton chose Barton to get him ready for the field.
I chose natural gas because I saw all the different type of hands-on work that they do. The technology is top-notch. Instructors are very knowledgeable of everything. Anybody interested in a career in natural gas, I really encourage them to come here to Barton. My name is Easton Juneau, and I'm a Barton Cougar.
Learn more at naturalgas.bartonccc.edu.
Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
I think all the pressure is on Kansas City, and I think, we kind of saw.
It's a lot different when the Chiefs didn't play. You didn't really have a lot of worries, and we went through years and years of that. But Kansas City and Philadelphia, B104.3 The Point. Don't forget 3 o'clock on Sunday, special Chiefs Network broadcast. And then the coverage from Westwood One starting at 4 o'clock. Kickoff is set for 5:30. High school basketball tonight. Great Bend Liberal on B104.3 The Point. Hoisington Ellenwood on 100.7 Eagle Country. And Larned and Heston on Hits 106.9. We'll be back here Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.